Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Leonard again, and I have a message for the entire world. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for Donald Trump. I'm sorry that he's such an incompetent, egotistical moron. I mean, I didn't vote for the bastard, but I know people who did and probably will do it again because they learn from their mistakes. So I'm just sorry that he's such an incompetent guy that always pumps himself, both figuratively and literally. And I'm sorry that he always a big. It seems like every day. It seems like every day that he's in office, he always provides for a deeper low for human depravity and stupidity. And what with new I ran through about him declaring that the state of Hormuz would be U.S. territory in a few days or very shortly or whatever. I'm just sorry that he's that incompetent and that brazen when it comes to international affairs, and that we're going to force Greenland to become our territory by plundering its oil reserves because he fucked up with the Iran war that he doesn't know how to get out of, or he doesn't have any semblance of humility to back away from it and admit that I made a mistake in doing this. In fact, he actually just said that I apologize for nothing. You know, I think I made a good decision. Get the bullshit and Mister. I honor the troops. Meanwhile, prisoners in U.S. prisons are getting better treatment than the people on the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Middle East right now. So I'm very sorry for the people who have to suffer through that. The people on the ship, and the families of those people, and other veterans too are probably really steaming mad at Trump right now, and people hate this. So I'm just sorry for all that, you know. I like I said, I didn't vote for him, but I always thought that, if the candidate that I don't vote for and I don't support were to win the office of the presidency, that I would just hope for the best for him to become a good leader and stuff. But as we have seen so far, Trump has no conception about being a good leader, nor does he really give a shit about learning how to be a good leader. He just runs everything ragged into the ground while trying to name stuff after himself and trying to rewrite history to give himself a good legacy. But the fact is that he's that kind of job and he's trying to run the American country like a business, which is no bueno. Not only that, but he's trying to make it into Trump business, which, as we've seen in the past, will plummet to the doom. And it's really, really sad that he tried to cut important things for America that wouldn't be important for businessmen. Like, for example, healthcare, education, VA services, the list goes on. Meanwhile, you need that for good functioning government to work and function and all that. But you don't need something like that per se for a business. Let alone a Trump business too. So yeah, he's running dance around. He's running the people ragged before they get a break, and it's just very horrible. Especially because he never served in the army or the armed forces or whatever. So he doesn't understand the stress that soldiers are going through, not being able to see their loved ones under constant threat of death from attack from the enemy, and they're vastly going downhill real quick. Their food quality going downhill real quick too. And the same with like they got moldy showers, they lack hygiene products, soap, shampoo, and toothpaste, as well as for the female soldiers. They lack a feminine hygiene project, which I doubt that President Trump or Pete Hegseth actually give a fuck about. But that's something that specifically geared toward women, and they couldn't care less about women. Let's be honest with ourselves. They couldn't give two shits about women. In general, they couldn't give any crap about any woman whatsoever. And because this war is fucked up, the mail service also got derailed big time because families have been putting out like care packages to their brothers, sisters, family members, fathers, mothers, what have you, and stuff. But the care packages haven't been getting through. And then the best thing is that when confronted about all this negativity toward the war and everything else, you know what PX and Trump do? They say it's fake news, that the people that are really telling the truth about this type of thing are lying. And they're just doing it just to protect their own ass and protect their own public image. And it makes themselves look like they're making them look like roses. You know, they're not roses, they're more like they're more like a bunch of peach plants that are just, they attract things with sweet aromas, but they're just a cesspool of death and destruction and stickiness. So yeah, I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry for anybody that thought that Trump was a good guy and who just lied to our faces and did the exact opposite to what the campaign promises were. For example, no wars, affordability would go down, food prices would go down. You know, I'd be a good leader, an honest person. But that couldn't be further from the truth. This man is a criminal. He's a sex fiend. He's a very bad hombre. And just the levels of depravity and the levels of cruelty of this man and his administration are off the charts. I didn't even know that people could be that cruel. I thought that died a long time ago with the Nazi Party and stuff like that in Germany. Apparently not. Apparently we need to go through that whole lesson all over again, because Trump seems to be on the other road to doing it again. And if there's anything that's good that's happening with the Trump administration, that people will look through history books, not how good Trump is or how fantastic and amazing his presidency was, but how what happens to the mind, what happens to the body when you eat fast food all the time, and when you have dementia and delusions of grandeur. Because that's what we're seeing right now. It's more about the physical layout of the White House and the decoration of DC, Washington DC stuff like that, over the actual important issues like troops affordable housing, healthcare, transportation, roads, uh, infrastructure and all that stuff. All good, but it's the superficial stuff. Like gold ballrooms, gold this, gold that, nice thing like that, And it's funny that all these troops are getting nothing but moldy food in bed, toilets, and all that stuff, and backing up and everything. But meanwhile, what does he get? He gets all kinds of fancy things, fancy meals, fancy this, fancy chandeliers, fancy nice golf trips. I mean, the guy golf on its weekends more often than I play video games. I swear to Christ, that's what really pissed me off is that people in the United States are getting all kinds of, that we have to start worrying about watching on P's and all that. He's living a life of luxury. It's all of his fans. It's kind of maddening that he's like that. But he's president, so I'll give him a little bit of credit for that. But he don't got rubbed in our faces too much too. There's only so much of the whole I'm president can really go far with me. Because I don't really give him credit for that type of thing, but I do have esteem for the president office, not for the guy in charge. The guy in charge is a con man and pretty much the devil in human form. Because pretty much everyone who likes him is poor. Okay? But he's living a life of luxury. He's making billions of dollars. He's making lots of land transaction deals with his reform government and stuff. So he's fleecing the American people for his own benefit. Well, meanwhile, he gives us crumbs. It really reminds me of when in the book and the various adaptations of Animal Farm, in which the pigs stand into the communists and stuff. So the analogy could actually be it's pretty much on the head with that, in that the pigs are Trump and the administration, and the working class people are like the horses, the sheep, and everything else that trade their hard work and hard labor for the crumbs that the pigs give them. So pretty much Trump is basically using American people to become rich and even more powerful than he already is, all while his government decline. And it's very public, both mental and physical decline. But also, the same matter is that there are many things that he can get because he's president that we can't normally get. For example, the experimental drug that he is on, we think where normal people, you me and the next guy over, can't get that experiment from the kitchen. Maybe next year or the year after, like high prices and stuff, but because he's president, or royal and regal and all that horseshit, he gets it. He's like the first case of people to get it. So it's good to be the king, but it's shady to be a king it's shady to be a serf under that king. Remember, I do respect the office of the President of the United States. I think the President, right now, the guy in charge, is a scumbag. So, yeah. I do wish that America had elected Kamala Harris as president, because none of this shit would have happened. We would never gone into a war with Iran, and we would never have a president who was chicken shit and gone into a food cart to hide away from the danger of Iran or anybody or any other nation. It would be brave, it would be strong, and they wouldn't be a little bitch about complaining about an election that lost fair and square a few years ago at least. So, yeah, I wish we had Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, which is another really stupid thing that Trump did, in which he mocks and picks on the man, even though he's got even though his prostate cancer spread to his other organs in his body, Trump always goes low below and always makes fun of people that are just barely hanging out with life. The one time that he could have a modicum of dignity and respect for an old man, and he doesn't. Just piss it away just to make a cheap joke at Biden, saying, "I'm the best. I'm the alpha male. I'm a king of the hill now." That get old business. You should die and all that stuff. But Joe Biden is still a human, and he deserves honor and respect. Sure, he was the best president, but still, he is a person that's awful. Trump, on the other hand, is inhuman, cruel, devious, who's looking to scam people, who's looking for the next big thing as far as the scam goes. He can the support to be idiots, expendable, and it's also very cheap when it comes to paying for certain things and for expressing patriotism, like when it came to piss poor Great American State Fair, among other things, but he demands a lot of money for his pet projects like the Trump ballroom, his ballroom. The way he makes it sound is that he's paying for certain things, like the Great American State Fair, but meanwhile, part of the I think it was part of the National Park Service thing there, the federally funded thing, and then there's the fucking pool. It would be really nice. He actually paid for some of that stuff. I'll give you like $250, $250 million out of my own pocket, so that we could do the ballroom. Just to look out real confident, so that I don't make you feel that I'm scamming you out of all your money or your taxpayer money. But I'll pay for a little down payment of it. But no, he wants everything to be paid for by the federal government, like its own personal piggy bank. And I'm just sorry. Not all Americans are like that. Not all Americans are racist, sexist, transphobic, Islamophobic, or any. We are really human. We all full of love. We don't live on just hatred like Trump does. like his father do. You know, I'm sure that there was that those seeds of hatred and division in America, and Trump did brought them out. He said that when it's okay to be bigoted, it's okay to be racist, it's okay to be anti-gay. Those people over there are hateful people over there. The only hateful person is the guy in the office right now. And I love the fact that Trump, who's 8 years old right now, comes up with the idea about calling the people who doesn't like Democrats, because there's not a B in it. He finds out that it's like a big revelation that the word dumb has a B in it. Like, nobody else knew about that but him. He just found out about that recently. Not all Americans are stupid like that. And not everyone buys or Trump bullshit without question. I like anyone that doesn't follow Trump. And I'm like, why do people even like Trump? Oh, because he brought back a man to power. He's strong. He's this, that. Yeah, I don't buy it. America is weaker because of him. We went through our long-range missiles like water. All because of him and Pete Hegseth and stupidity like that. So, if anyone wants to attack us or allies, they're pretty much defenseless. Except Trump. He's got a missile defense system all to himself. Whereas we have to fend for ourselves. In Taiwan and South Korea, they're pretty much sitting ducks because of him going through everything like a guy playing Halo with no experience with fighting weapons. Anyway, this video is going a little bit longer than I would like to go, so I'm gonna end it right now. Basically, I'm sorry that they unleashed Trump for a second time. Apparently, they didn't learn from the first time, and that Americans do have a mentality of a goldfish, and they do have the memory of a goldfish, like flush in the pan and stuff. So I'm just sorry that we unleashed Trump onto the world. I mean, nobody that I know voted for Trump. And the one uncle that I do have, Uncle Darius, like you prefer to do, he didn't vote for Trump. I like him anyway. Which blows my mind on so many levels. If you like someone, why don't you vote for him, you jackass? But my Uncle Darius is special because he's very much like Trump himself. Which is very bad because he had 2 kids. One of them is a woman with 2 of her own children, with 2 of her own daughters. So that's really kind of disturbing that even she likes Trump. She see no problem with his sexual deviance and all that towards women and stuff. So yeah, she's got shit screwed with it too. But in any case, I will put my socials in the description below. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. God bless the troops and fuck Donald Trump. And be protective. Anyway, I'll see all you girls and guys in Internet Land in the next video. Sayonara, ciao, and please pray for us all. pray that Donald Trump doesn't do anything really radical, like dropping a nuclear bomb and stuff, and then, sagging, taking Greenland by force, and doing anything else stupid like that, like trying to invade Cuba or anywhere else in the world, and trying to rename everything after himself. Bye.